Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Analytical English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today, we are going in the Northern Hemisphere to one of the largest areas, one of the largest habitats in the whole world. We will be in wild Russia, Siberia.
Ooh.
我们今天的文章标题是野性俄罗斯西伯利亚。
Okay, let's take a look. We've got 3 paragraphs here. I'll read through them all, and then we'll all go back, reading each sentence individually and explaining them. A large region of Russia, known as Siberia, makes up nearly 10% of the land on our planet. The expansive Siberian landscape ranges from frozen tundra in the north to rugged steppes in the south. Diverse habitats and the animals that have adapted to living in this unique climate are the subject of National Geographic's Wild Russia, Siberia. As one of the coldest locations in the northern hemisphere, most of Siberia is a wilderness, unlike any other. Because the terrain and conditions are so harsh, not many people travel there. Untouched and vast natural ecosystems allow for wildlife to flourish. From mammals like musk deer, camels, and gray wolves, to the incredible Siberian salamander, animals that live in Siberia are especially suited to withstand the freezing cold temperatures and extreme weather. In winter, temperatures can drop as low as minus 62 degrees Celsius and climb as high as 40 degrees Celsius in summer. Siberian salamanders, in particular, are amazing because they have the astounding ability to stay alive for years while frozen solid in blocks of ice. Instead of thick coats of fur or fatty tissue to insulate against the low temperatures, like most animals in Siberia, these salamanders have their own way of coping. Their blood contains compounds similar to antifreeze that allow them to maintain their vital signs when any other animal would succumb to the bitter cold. National Geographic's Wild Russia, Siberia, shows stunning footage of the remote landscapes and the wildlife that calls Siberia home, which is enough to melt your heart.
I'm sorry, I haven't said anything because I'm kind of thinking about these salamanders. Can you imagine that? They can stay frozen in blocks of solid blocks of ice for years and still be alive. That's
the perfect pet. If you're going away for a few weeks, you stick it in the freezer.
Oh my gosh. So now we have to look them up and find out if they're cute, because the pet is not the perfect pet unless it is also cute. Cute is like the baseline here.
I see.
But that is a good point and worth considering.
Angela 老师刚刚说他一直在好奇啊，这个蝾螈啊，我们文章里面有提到蝾螈，它可以被冰冻起来好几年还活着啊。那这个一开始 Angela 老师就觉得说啊，这个东西真是很神奇，但是Bruce 老师就说啊，那就是完美的宠物啊，因为你如果要出门的话呢，你就把它冰起来就好了啊，那也不用担心要喂它要干嘛的啊，回来再把它解冻就好了啊。不过 Angela 老师就说啊，不过要看看它可不可爱，因为要当宠物呢还要可爱啊。不过我想这个任何东西都有人觉得很可爱。Right?
Yeah, every animal has their fan base. That's true.
好，那这句话各位发现了，我说每一样东西都有人喜欢。那 Angela 老师他是用英文的思考啊，就把它转成啊，每一个动物都有它的 its own fan base 啊，就它的这个迷的这个基础啊，都会有人会当它的迷就对了啊。所以这个中文英文之间转换我们没有时间讲，但是各位可以好好去体会一下。
I mean, there's people out there standing for spiders and snakes and everything else, so it's really true.Yeah,
这个蜘蛛啊、蛇啊，还有一些更恐怖的生物啊，都有人喜欢把它当来当宠物。
I'm going to guess, though, that parasitic roundworms are one of the few exceptions.
Mosquitoes.
True.
Yeah, 蚊子啦，还有这个一些这个虫、跳蚤啦，这些东西呢，大概一般人是不会把它拿来当宠物的。
So, a large region of Russia known as Siberia makes up nearly 10% of the land on our planet. A region is an area of land, and a region can be made up of several countries, or it can be an area within a very large country, and Russia is one of those that has regions.
好 regions 或者 region 它是一个区域通常感觉是蛮大的一块区域尤其这里他讲 a large region 那这个世界上的国家大概没有几个国家可以说它国家里面有一个 large region 我想在这里呢俄罗斯他们当然可以这么说所以他说在俄罗斯有一个很大的一个区域known as 就大家称为这个西伯利亚的这样的一个地方那这个地方怎么样呢？西伯利亚 makes up 就是它组成了，也就是它占有差不多是这个我们 the land on our planet 我们地球上面的土地大概10%将近10%所以换句话说，在俄罗斯的西伯利亚，它占有它的土地面积差不多是地球土地面积的10%。
The expansive Siberian landscape ranges from frozen tundra in the north to rugged steppes in the south. So what does it look like, this huge region? Well, in the north, it's always frozen ground that we call frozen tundra. It's not necessarily covered with snow or ice, but it's so cold. Imagine a desert that's always freezing. It's going to be very hard, compacted earth. That's in the north, to rugged steppes in the south.A steppe is basically a plain or a flat land, but it's not a place for growing rice or wheat or corn. Especially if it's rugged, it will have a lot of rocks in it. The land will have cracks in it. It's going to be very difficult to move across.
There are going to be things known as badlands in it, which is land that's been run through with water so that it's just become like a canyon.And weathered away.
Rocks just coming out of the ground for no reason.
Yeah, 这个 rugged 就是崎岖不平那这个通常会让人想到它呢会有很多的岩石然后那地上可能会有裂缝，甚至于可能会有那个低谷或者河谷这个高低不平那种感觉。好，所以我们看到这个句，他说 the expensive 这个 expensive 它在这里呢，它不是那个很昂贵是 expensive 那个是 pen 那这是 expensive 很大的意思所以 expensive 就是这个covering a large space 或者 area 所以这个西伯利亚的 landscape 它这块地方呢非常的广大那 range from 就是当我们看到 range 后面看到 from 的时候，我们就知道它要讲一个范围，就这个东西它从这个范围到那个范围都包括进去了所以呢它从什么开始呢？从 frozen tundra tundra 就是所谓的冻原，冷冻的冻那个原野的原这个 tundra 通常是没有树然后那个 the ground is usually frozen 或者 always frozen 所以这个冻原然后呢是北边的冻原，所以它的这个landscape 它的这个景观或者它的地形呢，北边有冻原，然后呢一直到南边呢有这个 rugged steppes 这个 step 它的发音跟 step 是一样的都是 step， 但是这个 step 它尾巴多了一个 p 那这个后面是 es 那这个 steppe 是大草原那它尤其是指俄罗斯亚洲还有东欧的那种大草原叫做 steppes。So
diverse habitats and the animals that have adapted to living in this unique climate are the subject of National Geographic's Wild Russia, Siberia. So with having all these different environments and habitats, diverse means there's many different kinds of the thing. So there's all these different kinds of habitats and environments, and so therefore there's all these different kinds of animals that have adapted to each of these areas.And this is what Wild Russia Siberia is about.
好，所以 diverse 就是不同的different from each other. 那不同的有时候也是有各式各样的意思habitats 就是动物的栖息地，所以有不同的动物栖息地那这是一件事情。另外一件事情是这个 animals that have adapted to adapt to 就是适应。那另外一件事情是一些已经适应适应什么东西呢？适应住在这样的一个 unique climate 一个独一无二很独特的气候里面的这些动物所以有两件事情，一个是各种各样的生物栖息地，另外一个是在这些栖息地里面一些动物它们已经适应了这种独特的气候。 那这两样东西呢是什么的 subject？ 是我们这个节目啊，国家地理频道这个野性俄罗斯西伯利亚这个节目的主题 subject。
All right, our second paragraph begins with, as one of the coldest locations in the northern hemisphere, most of Siberia is a wilderness unlike any other. Of course, the northern hemisphere, and notice the capital letters here, because it's a geographic place. From the equator, running north to the North Pole, that is the northern hemisphere, and that's where most of the world's land happens to be located. And both the North Pole and the South Pole become very, very cold. The equator is the warmest, even the hottest area in the world. And so wherever it is very, very cold or very, very hot, you have an unusual wilderness. It becomes almost impossible for people to live there, grow crops there, live comfortably there. And so we would call that a wilderness. Usually, if it's free of people, or nearly so, then we call it a wilderness.
好，那 wilderness 啊，这个中文叫做荒野啊，基本上就是这个没有人住过或者没有人去开垦的哈，一个荒野原野。好，所以这个句子一开始他说呢，这个 as 就它作为啊，这个北半球 the northern hemisphere 北半球啊，那因为是地理名词，所以这个北边的北 n 有大写哈。那作为北半球最冷的地方之一啊 ，location 在这里就是 place 啊的意思啊，所以什么东西是作为北半球最冷的地方之一呢？就是这个西伯利亚啊，所以他接下来说，西伯利亚大部分怎么样呢？是一片荒野。那 unlike any other 跟其他的地方都不一样啊，有的时候我们会看到 like no other 啊，那如果你用 like 的话就是 no other， 那你如果用这个 any 的话就是 unlike any other 啊，因为我们小时候背的那个蛮有用的 ，no 等于 not any 啊，那这个 not 在那个 un 上面，然后 any 在后面，所以 unlike any other 就等于 like no other。
Because the terrain and conditions are so harsh, not many people travel there. If something is harsh, it's not gentle. It's hard, it's unforgiving, it's difficult.
这个 harsh 就是严酷的意思啊。那这个difficult unforgiving unpleasant difficult to deal with， 它也可以表示人啊。So, for example, Bruce is a harsh teacher.
Or at least he says harsh words to his students.
No, actually, Bruce is the opposite of a harsh teacher.
Since he's right in front of you, you must
change
your statement.
Yeah, for my life. Yeah. Okay, 所以呢，这个 harsh 就是严酷啊。所以呢，这个它是因为这个 terrain 其实就是指这个一种土地的特色啊，就 land of a particular kind。那我们terrain 常会让我们想到什么 rough terrain。那就是这个感觉起来很非常不平啊，感觉起来很崎岖那种这个地理环境。
Off-road motorcycle racing。Yeah，
越野机车啊，最喜欢去那种 rough terrain 上面去练啊。那 conditions 这里加了一个 s 啊，它是表示类似一种环境啊。
It's like the weather and things.
Yeah， 例如说这个天气，在这里指的是天气啊等等的生存的环境啊。那这 condition 复数其实很常见，像我们讲这个 living conditions 啊，就是我们生存环境啊，或者 working conditions 啊，那个很重要，那个我们的工作环境，这个时候都是用 condition， 而且是加 s。所以呢，因为这个地方的地形啊，这个还有这个气候呢，非常的严酷啊 ，harsh 啊，所以呢，没有很多人到这个地方来旅行，因为太难过了啊，不是那么舒适。
Untouched and vast natural ecosystems allow for wildlife to flourish. So again, free from people, we have wilderness, natural ecosystems. We have the steppes, we have frozen tundra. There are plenty of forests in this area as well, with trees, of course. To flourish is to be abundant. They can multiply and fill up the environment, in this case with many, many different and a lot of wildlife animals.
Untouched 就是没有被人为破坏哈，没有被人为动过手脚哈。然后呢，还有 vast 巨大的哈，所以这个 它的自然的生态系统 natural ecosystems 加了一个 s， 它有好几个自然生态系统是没有被人为破坏而且很庞大那这样两件事情呢 allow for 就是 to make something possible， 就让这些 wildlife 一些野生就不是一些就让野生生物呢可以 flourish， 可以这个生长繁茂这个茂盛繁荣 flourish 就是这个字。
From mammals like musk deer, camels, and gray wolves. So these are all, a mammal is an animal that feeds its young. It gives birth to live young and feeds it with milk. And so these kinds of animals exist there. And then they also have the Siberian salamander, which is a lizard. And animals that live in Siberia are specially suited to withstand or to be able to stand the freezing cold temperatures and extreme weather.If you're not suited to that, you're not going to stay alive. So you have to be, in order to live there, you have to be adapted to this kind of extreme weather.
Yeah, 所以这一句呢，就是要告诉你这个什么这个 wildlife 有哪些这个 flourishing 这个动物有哪些？所以有一些哺乳动物 mammals 哺乳动物，例如说这个麝香鹿这个骆驼灰狼然后呢，从哺乳动物到the incredible 就是不可思议的。这个西伯利亚的蝾螈salamander 这个就是这个蝾螈是很像蜥蜴的一种这个生物那这些动物呢住在西伯利亚这些动物他们是 specially 他们特别地 suited to 就是适合他们特别的适合可以 withstand 就是承受或者是抵挡 the freezing cold temperatures 那个冷的跟冰一样的那种气候那种温度所以很低的气温他们可以承受，还有呢 extreme weather 极端气候，其实极端气候就包含了这个 freezing cold temperatures 不过极端气候还有其他的东西，什么暴风或什么的或者很热等等的极端气候。
Let's take a look at freezing cold temperatures in the next sentence. In winter, temperatures can drop as low as minus 62 degrees Celsius and climb as high as 40 degrees Celsius in summer.Here in Taiwan, we're somewhat familiar with 40 degrees above zero, but there's nothing like minus 62 degrees. I don't even think you have that in Wisconsin.
No, we do not.
The lowest I've been in is about minus 26 in central New York Celsius.
所以这个它的气温这里讲到说在冬天呢，它的气温可以 drop， 可以掉到怎么样 ？as low as 就是可以。温度可以低到怎么样？这个摄氏-62度很不得了那这个刚刚 Bruce 老师问这个 Angela 说，这个威斯康星这个 Angela 老师的家乡有没有这么冷？因为威斯康星其实在美国算是冷的地方了。
No, not really. Everyone has this idea, but no, New York gets much colder actually. It's further. It's more northern. Actually, than Wisconsin, and we have the lake, which mitigates the temperatures a lot.
所以很多人都跟我一样，都以为威斯康星州很冷，但其实
But lots of people confuse Wisconsin with Minnesota, and Minnesota does get super cold.
There's a difference?
You can't see it, but my eyes are rolling.
所以这个很多人以为会把威斯康星州跟那个明尼苏达州这 Karen 老师的家乡那个地方就真的很冷了那这个威斯康星州呢冷是冷，但是没有像这个纽约北纽约州的北边那就真的很冷。所以像 Bruce 老师说他经历过的最冷的气候是-27度但是-62度不得了那到了夏天呢，它的温度可以高到这个摄氏40度。
Siberian salamanders in particular are amazing because they have the astounding ability to stay alive for years while frozen solid in blocks of ice. If somebody is astounding, they're amazing. It's just another way for saying amazing or incredible or anything else that makes you feel like really kind of shocked. But astounding is a great word because if you are astounded, you're literally kind of stopped in your tracks. You're like, what? And you can't even move because from shock. So they have this astounding ability to stay alive for years while frozen solid in blocks of ice. You can be frozen, like you can be really cold, but maybe you're, like if you had a piece of meat that was frozen, it might be a little bit flexible yet. But if it's frozen solid, it's basically like a chunk of ice or rock. It's frozen solid. It's solid. It will not move.
好，所以 frozen solid 这个在英文里面是很常见的一个 collocation 它的意思就冻得硬的那个 solid 它可以指固体，那在这里它其实是很坚硬的意思所以冻得硬的，因为有些东西虽然冻了，可是可能还是软的，摸起来 它是 frozen solid， 就是冻得硬硬的。好，所以他说这个西伯利亚这个蝾螈呢，尤其 in particular， 尤其是非常的 amazing， 因为呢，他们有一个很惊人的能力啊，它 the astounding ability 可以 stay alive 活着 for years， 可以活好几年啊 ，while 它是在冻得硬硬的情况之下还可以活好几年啊，冻在哪里呢？在 blocks of ice， 冻在一块一块的冰里面啊，它还是能活。
Instead of thick coats of fur or fatty tissue to insulate against the low temperatures, like most animals in Siberia, these salamanders have their own way of coping. Thick coats of fur or fatty tissue. Stop looking at me, you guys. To insulate means to protect against extreme temperatures, usually from cold temperatures, as we have here, against the low temperatures.And we're describing mammals here because mammals, we have layers of fat. We also have fur or hair.
And lizards do not.
Correct. Salamanders have their own way of coping, not by fur or fatty tissue. Cope means you can handle something. You can deal with something.
Yeah, cope 啊，它是个在这里它是个不及物动词啊，所以 have their own way of coping 就是他们自己有他们应付的方法，他们自己有对付的方法。好，然后在这前面讲到说，这个 instead of 它没有很厚的 coats of fur coat 啊，在这里呢，其实指的是 the fur that covers an animal's body 啊，所以就是这个 coat 其实就指动物身上的毛皮，那 fur 也是毛皮，所以它们没有很厚的毛皮，或者是 fatty 啊，就很多脂肪的这个 tissue 组织啊，这些东西呢，其实都一般动物用来 insulate， 就是这个隔绝啊，隔绝电啊、热啊、声音等等的。好，来隔绝 the low temperatures 这个低温啊，所以like most animals 啊，这个就好像大多数的动物啊，在西伯利亚，所以西伯利亚大部分动物都是靠毛皮啊来这个或者脂肪组织来御寒，但是这些蝾螈它们有自己的方法。
So what's interesting about them is their blood contains compounds. In this case, we mean chemical compounds or certain kinds of chemicals that are similar to antifreeze. Antifreeze is a chemical that you put in your engine to keep it running in winter. It keeps it from freezing up. That's the one use that I know of antifreeze. Antifreeze is terribly poisonous, so you couldn't drink it. But these animals sort of create their own kind of antifreeze in their blood system. And this allows them to maintain their vital signs. It allows them to keep their blood circulating and their brains working and everything else. When any other animal would succumb to the bitter cold. If you froze any other animal in a block of ice for years, they're gonna die. But these salamanders won't. And it brings a new meaning to the term cold-blooded. It's like, if you're cold-blooded, it's like, no, man, I've got antifreeze in my veins.
啊，所以它真的是冷血，但它冷血是因为它的血液里面有某一种这个类似防冻剂，哈 ，antifreeze 这种东西啊。好，那所以这个句子看到说呢，这个他们的血里面有一种 compound 化合物啊，类似 similar to 防冻剂。那可以让他们 maintain their 维持他们的 vital signs， 就他们的生命迹象啊。那其他的动物在类似的情况下会已经 succumb to 就是屈服啊 to the bitter cold 就是已经屈服在这个寒冷之下，就是可能已经冻死了的意思啊。但他们其他动物会冻死，但他们不会，因为血里面有类似防冻剂的东西。
National Geographic's Wild Russia, Siberia shows stunning footage of the remote landscapes and the wildlife that calls Siberia home, which is enough to melt your heart. You know, National Geographic has some of the most beautiful photographs and video footage is just film. Remote, it means far away or wilderness landscapes, and the wildlife, much of which we've probably never seen before. And it's enough to melt your heart. It will make you fall in love with Siberia.
所以这个国家地理频道这个野性俄罗斯这个节目呢，它有很多 stunning 啊，惊人的，就是非常 amazing 的这种 footage， 就是影片。好，拍的是什么呢 ？The remote landscapes 啊，这个很偏远的这个地方的这个景色景观。还有呢，这个住在这里的这些野生动物啊 ，wildlife 和野生植物啊，那这些东西呢，他们是 call Siberia home， 就他们把西伯利亚称为家，也就是他们是生长或栖息在这里的这些 wildlife。那这些东西呢，都足够可以 melt your heart， 让你的心融化。
Okay, that's it for today's lesson. Hope you enjoyed it and learned from it. Until the next time.
Bye-bye.